You guys, I internalize so much on a regular basis. I don't say a lot of things that I really want to say to people. Now, a part of it is because I just don't think of it in time. You know, whenever, like, you say something and then 5 minutes later you think of something even better that you could have said, and you're so mad at yourself, and you wish that you could turn back the clock, or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever the fuck they call time. You wish that you could reverse it and really insult that person the way that they deserve to be insulted. Well, I used to really beat myself up over that. But then I realized that I probably wouldn't be such a strong comedian if I just said everything that I wanted to say. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people have said shit to me online. And it's one of the reasons why I waited to do YouTube. People have told me to do YouTube since its founding, but I was too self-conscious to do YouTube. I was too insecure at the time. I had to wait for that. I had to wait to, like, really grow into myself and smoke a fuck ton of weed and get over the fact that I was consistently spit on by society in order to, like, do what you see me do. Now, I get that I come across as very harsh and mean and judgmental and all that, but that's because I'm not saying any of these things, and I don't have the luxury of doing what everybody else does and just spouting off online and not having a conscience about it. Conscience. But it's like, how often do you see people leave a comment and it's just so ugly and hateful, and I can, like, visualize them leaving that comment. Like, I just imagine what it's like to be your modern American and have their smartphone whipped out, scrolling, angrily leaving comments that they're not even cognizant of. I don't even think they see themselves do this. I mean, that must be terrible, though. That must be terrible to wake up every day and be that much of a piece of garbage. But I feel for them in a way, because they're consistently being poisoned and voluntarily poisoning themselves, and they don't even understand. And if you try to explain it, they're just gonna either get mad or they're gonna laugh at you and call you a conspiracy theorist. Now, I can gauge, like, whether or not a person's gonna care what I have to say. And though I do feel it's somewhat of a moral and ethical responsibility to tell people the truth, if they're not ready for that, it's really not worth it. Like, you're just wasting your breath, you're wasting your energy, and you're just gonna get upset because they're not gonna care. But I really, really care. I mean, that's why I do what I do. But I know how it comes across. But I feel like I'm also doing, like, comedy, like, old school, you know? And people don't know what that is anymore because everybody's so, like, obsessed about what everybody thinks. And it's not because, like, they care. Like, oh no, am I hurting other people with my words? Am I hurting other people with my mean-spirited comments? People aren't concerned about that. Not at all. They're concerned about, how do I look? Are people going to think I'm a racist? Because there's nothing worse in this world than being called a racist. But I've wrestled with that. Am I doing the right thing? Am I being ugly? I mean, this is comedy. Like, if you understand comedy as an art form, you'd understand what I do. Even if you don't like it or agree with it, you'd understand that this is still comedy. Sorry, it's bright light over there. It's not just me. You know, it's not just the light emanating from my existence. It's actual light over there. But anyway, yeah, I mean, comedy is part narcissistic. Comedy is part, you know, ugly reaction to what goes on in society, you know? It's all about falling down and picking yourself up and making a joke about it. And I think that people that haven't done that enough, people that don't have awareness of their experience, are going to just make fun of everybody else. But, you know, I've earned this shit, motherfucker. I've worked for it. I've worked for it. And I've noticed that every single person that's got a problem with me, whether it's on this channel, whether it's in stand-up comedy in Nashville, whether it's people that I went to school with, people that I've worked with, people that I've worked for, my family, people that I used to be friends with that no longer speak to me, it's because I'm just too real. Get real, motherfucker. Get real. Stop being such a fake, flaky bullshitter. It's just unbelievable. And they don't do anything either. They don't do anything. And I feel like whenever you're consistent all across the board, it's very, very offensive. Because most people are hypocritical. And so they don't understand that not being a hypocrite is the goal. Okay? Not saying one thing and doing the exact opposite, that's the goal. Like, I don't want to be a hypocrite in ways that I can avoid. So it's like, if I complain about something, I'm not gonna purposely do something else that's a lot similar to that something that I was just complaining about. Yeah, I know I don't talk right. Okay? It doesn't matter if I don't talk right. I do right. If I live right, it doesn't matter how I sound. And it doesn't matter how I look, as long as I'm living right. And that's the thing, we live in a very appearance-obsessed world. This world is run by the Prince of Darkness, so of course, people are going to focus more on how somebody looks and how somebody sounds than how somebody behaves and how they live their life. Which is just sad and pathetic that the majority of our society is like this, and they are so lacking in spiritual things, it's ridiculous. So I know, like, why I'm offensive. I know how I come across. And so, you know, anybody that gets upset, you need to check yourself, honey. Because the problem ain't me. What does Lauren say? That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. So true. Love you, bitch.